Welcome, dear friends. We have come to chapter number 60. Zeal, Ukkamudame. This is an important chapter in THIRUKKURAL. I could say this is the most important chapter in THIRUKKURAL, which will make us have all the Kurals be inherited for our benefits. We will be made to go through all the Kurals through knowing about the zeal. What is this? I have translated my book, this book called THIRUKKURAL English Couplet. Why it is THIRUKKURAL? Because THIRUKKURAL has been translated as it is. 4 plus 3 word. Means 7, that is 7 words translation. 4 plus 3 word translation in 2 lines. Valluvas Kural Venba is used and the couplets definition is used, wherein 2 lines having the same syllabic meter. I used a semantical approach for translation. Thereby I could bring in the thought and spirit and heart of Thiruvallur to translation. Semantically translated. I put all the 1330 Kurals in 133 chapters into 16 heads, wherein we are in the 9th head. All the heads are aspects, so we are in the 9th aspect called, 10th aspect called governance. We are in the 10th aspect called governance. 59 to 78 we are in the 10th aspects or the head. This is 60th chapter where we are seeing all the 10 Kurals together, because each Kural is interconnected, interlinked with each other. So we are seeing this. In the first Kural. Zeal is real, wealth, others are not. Whenever Valluvur is referring to wealth, he is referring to health also. So wealth includes health also. How? Zeal is real wealth, others are not. No other wealth is there except zeal. If you have the zeal, you will get wealth. You will in Tamil, Udayar enapaduvathu Ukkam, Attila, Udayadu, Udayoro Mach. Udayoro Mach. Zeal is real wealth, others are not. No other wealth is there except wealth. If you don't have money also, if you think, if you are with Ukkam, that is called zeal. If you have some encouragement, if you have the zeal that you will have it, you will have it. That is what? Zeal is real wealth. Others are not. If you think that you will have it without having it, you will have it surely. That is called Ukkam. That is called wealth. That is called zeal. That is called the real wealth. Next one, 592. Willpower is permanent, but wealth is temporary. Wealth is temporary, it comes and goes, but we do not worry about it. You have to have your attitude about wealth. You should have the wealthy attitude. Some well-to-do people, you would have seen well-to-do people saying that they are poor. One day they will become poor. You would have seen some poor people saying that they are wealthy. They are well-to-do. In attitude, they will become rich. According to Quran, it is everywhere we can see in the chapters. Most of the chapters we could see that. Willpower is permanent, but wealth is temporary. 592. Willpower is permanent, but wealth is temporary. It comes and goes. Wealth comes and goes, but willpower is existing permanently. So willpower is existing permanently with us. So willpower is very important. Willpower is nothing but zeal. It's permanent. If it is there, wealth will come. If it goes also, we enjoy wealth. In the absence of the ordinary wealth, we enjoy the real wealth through our attitude, wealthy attitude. 593. Sujok being known, none would be sick. Sujok, why I have Akum இழந்தேம் என்று அல்லவா ஊக்கம் ஒருவன் தம் கைத்துடையார். This கைத்துடையார் is translated as Sujok. You could see in Tamil Nadu website, one of the websites that maintained by Akara Mudali department in Tamil Nadu. I have written an article. This is a research article using all THIRUKKURAL words. I have explained about the THIRUKKURAL words. It's a new research article which has been published in the Akara Mudali that website. It's called that website is called sorkuwai.com. If you go to my web pages or sorkuwai.com, you search for the sorkuwai.com, www.sorkuwai.com, you could find that. There are the research articles. My article is there. I think 51, number 51, article number 51 it seems. If I am correct, 51. That article, if you see, I have explained about the joke, all such words. Su means like joke means joke means hands and legs. Su means hand, joke means leg. It's a Korean word meaning hand and leg. So this there was a medicinal, traditional medicine called acupuncture. This developed and some type of modern version of acupuncture is called a sujok, where scientific methods have been adapted on acupuncture. It has been developed. This is one of the method wherein hands are mostly used for treating the body. You would have seen people without knowing themselves, they will be scratching, they will be rubbing, or they will be clapping, all such. These all acts will help them. I have some type of zeal in them. This would have seen and you would have heard about it. And some of the people who speak about self-improvement would speak about it, and they ask us to clap our hands. We would have seen some people, if they are worried, they will be doing like this. That means that they are worried. While worrying, they want to get rid of that, using this without knowing. That is what Valluva says. Akam ilande nentru allava ukam orvardam kaithudayar. So if somebody is thinking that he has gone lost, that time, if he knows about this kaithudayar, that is joke, what will happen? He won't be sick. He won't be feeling sick. He will be coming out of that gone stage, ill stage, sickness. He will be coming out of it. So sujok is a method now developed, Korean word, a Korean method of treatment that will help you come out of all this. So it will give you some encouragement through your hands. Now I have experienced, I have done this method because I have, especially for translation, I did my criminology, psychology, all such, criminology, psychology, language, administration, business administration from all well recognized universities. And I did this also, sujok also I wanted to do from the Korean people who were doing it. I could have understand so many things from there. There is no medicine. Whatever we do, wherever what happens, they explain, and which all seem to be right practically. I could experiment with myself and my family also. I could understand what is really happening. I could that is why I translated this sujok, because I had the knowledge, and having obtained that knowledge, I could translate this way using the Korean word, correct word, sujok. How Thiruvalur would know about it? Thiruvalur lived 2000 years back. Whether sujok was available that time, I don't know about it. But still, sujok would not have been there with Thiruvalur. But Thiruvalur has to use the same word for it. Phrase, we could say it's a phrase like a word. Kaithudayar. Kaithudayar is a word. It's not a phrase, it's a word only. So this word, he could do it prophetically. He would, being a person after truth, he would have known about it. That is what is said. Once we are after truth, truth will reveal all this. That is why these people were great and are great now. Truth is always truth and will be revealed. 2000 years back, 8000 years back, and now too. Till date it is happening in the same way. Okay, sujok being known, none would be sick. If you know about sujok, you will not be sick. You will not be discouraged. You will be encouraged. You will be encouraged. At least using your hands, you will be encouraged. Your endocrine glands, hormonal system will be encouraged to encourage you. That is why we see endocrine hormonal system, endocrine, oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin. These are all the hormones which give us some health. When we laugh, we have the endocrine secreted in us. When we help others, we have the oxytocin, serotonin. When we throw our words, we have the serotonin. When we love ourselves, we have the dopamine. We love others, serotonin. This type of thing happens in us. We have the health in us. And when we do some treatment on our hand without anybody's help even, we do. Everybody does without being aware or conscious or unconscious, aware or unaware, we do it. So if we know about it, we will not be sick. What verses? 494. Wealth creeps in if unfailing confidence overrules. If you have unfailing confidence, wealth, if you send the wealth away, it will creeps in. It will creeps in. It will come creeping. However, by hook or crook, it will come to you. Yeah, if you have the unfailing confidence, ruling over you, you will have the wealth crept to you. 595. Flower stem floats above water, greatness above willpower. Your willpower is there. You see, comparison is given. Some flowers floating above water. Water, when floating, flood is coming. What happened? The water level will be rising, and this flower stem will be rising above the water. How much water it doesn't mind. It comes above the level of the water. The same way, greatness coming out of your willpower. If you have the willpower, your greatness will be floating above you. So you will be great. You will become great. No matter you will fall down. You will not be falling down at all if you have the willpower. That is what he wants to say. 596. Whether possible or not, think of highly. Or I have translated this way also. Whether possible or not, think lofty thoughts. Think lofty thoughts. In Tamil, this is very useful. Ulluvadellam uyirullathu mattathu thallinum thallame nirthu. He says 596 is one of the quarrels which I could explain when I was invited to Mauritius by the Tamil people there. I could explain that people were very interested listening to that. Even the minister of that country, one of the ministers, he came there and he wanted to listen to this particularly, and he was waiting for me to complete. I being a chief guest, he being a Yeshwavana, he waited for my speech to get concluded because of this particular Quran. He wanted to listen to. He listened to that as soon as my speech was over, he went off. And such a thoughtful and thought-provoking Quran is this. Whether possible or not, think of highly. Think lofty thoughts. Whether possible or not, think lofty thoughts. What is this? உள்ளுவதெல்லாம் உயர்வுள்ளது மற்றது தள்ளினும் தள்ளாமை நிறுத்தி. Whether it is possible or not, think of highly. You want to become a doctor. You think that you will become a doctor. People might say that think of highly and at least you will become compounder. It is not so. It is not so. It was not said by Thiruvallur. What Thiruvallur is saying is, think of you, think of some thought, think that you want to become a doctor, but the situation is not okay with you. The situation seems to be not in consonance with what you want to, whatever desire you have. It is not well with your situation. You think you just want to become a doctor, but the situation is not good. You are very sure that the situation will make you a doctor. It will hinder you from becoming a doctor. It will not make you, it will won't let you become a doctor. You are sure, but you desire to be a doctor. Whatever says, whether possible or not, don't think about the situation, whether possible or not. Your situation says that it is not possible, but your desire says that it is possible. Which you want to believe? Your desire. You want to follow the desire, not the situation. Situation says it is not possible. Situation says it is possible. Don't mind about it, whether possible or not. You don't mind about the situation which speaks about your possibility or not, impossibility. Your desire, follow your desire, and whether possible or not, think lofty thoughts. Think lofty thoughts. Why he says think lofty thoughts? It will really yield you. You will become automatically. You will become what you think of. Bible says in Proverbs 23:7, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Swami Vivekananda used to say, you will become what you think of. So so many proverbs say, you will become what you think of. You will become what you think of. So you think that you will become a doctor. If your situation is not well with you, and it is impossible, that it seems to be impossible according to your situation, if it seems to be impossible, also don't let your desire go. I could explain this in one more way. You would have heard about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was the president of America. He was the very famous president of America. He is the first person and the best person who could break the bondage of slavery bondage, and he let the slaves come out. He brought out laws for that. Such a great man. And this man was a very poor man. He was a son of a poor man. He could one day see the White House. On the way, you could say that he would become one day the president of that White House. Being a small boy, he could say that. But everybody in front of him, at the back, at the front, at the back, and wherever he goes, he was mocked at. He was laughed at. And people used to say, this fellow, how he would become the president of America? America's president, even the world's superpowers presidents. How could he do that? How could he become a president of America? He is not only America's president, he is the world power one, world's superpowers president. Number one country's president. How could he become? Everybody laughed at him. Everybody mocked at him. Situation was also like that, because he was very poor. Being in the poverty, he could not say anybody, he could not tell anybody, he could not convince anybody that he would become president. But moreover, what happened afterwards also, what happened afterwards also convinced those people who mocked at him. What happened is he could stand in the election of a governor of a particular province. He failed. He could not get that much voting. He was not he was not successful. He failed. He wanted to do some business, good business, but he failed. He was not successful in business. And in his life, personal life also, so many failures. So everybody started laughing more and more, mocking at him more and more. And they could say whatever they thought, whatever they laughed and mocked are real, true. They thought and explained him that he could not do that. It has been already performed or demonstrated. But he did not yield his, what we say, his willpower. He did for the governor's election, he failed. He wanted to do a business, he failed. But he later stood for the election, president's election. He won like anything. He got good votes and he won. Now you see, his desire was that he wanted to become the president of America. That is what he desired for. He wanted to become the president of America, but he could not. During the during the time wherein he was growing, and at the time when he was discouraged by people, but he did not yield to what the people said and what the situation prevailed. But he wanted to become the president of America. If he had become the governor of a province, if he had become successful in the business, this thought of, or we say, this desire of his becoming a president of America and his becoming a president of America would not have been successful. He would not have become the president of America if he had been successful in business. He would not have become the president of America if he had been successful as a governor of a province. So that is why people say the becoming president of America is a great thought. Becoming a successful businessman or a big province governor is a good thought. Always, good thought is an enemy of great thought. Great thought is becoming president. Good thought is becoming a successful person. So, always good is an enemy of great thought. He became the president. So this situation was not good. So whether possible or not, whether possible or impossible, he believed his desire to come into fulfillment. He got the desire fulfilled. That is what that is the willpower. He should not yield that willpower. That's why I used to quote this quotation from Lord Tennyson. He wrote a poem called Ulysses, wherein he shows Ulysses going into the sea. He is in the midst of the ocean, where he is tossed by the waves. He is in the midst of the ocean. He had taken food, water, all such. Everything, he got exhausted of everything. Now he doesn't have anything with him. And he took his friends also with him. Now his friends are shouting at him. Why he took all of them there? Why? It is because he is in the midst of the sea. He couldn't even find the shore. He is not able to come ashore. Where is the shore? He doesn't know. He couldn't even find the shore, and he could not find for what he had taken that voyage. He could not come ashore. He could not do whatever he wanted to achieve. Now he is in the midst of the sea. Everything is, he got exhausted of things which he had taken. His friends were shouting at him. This time, Ulysses is shown as a saying that I am in strong will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. This time he could say, I am in strong will to strive. I will strive hard to find, to seek, to find, and not to yield. I am not going to yield myself. I will strive hard. I will seek. I will find. He found out finally. This is what's shown. This is what is shown in the Ulysses poem. This is what happened to Columbus in reality. So this is what is known as lofty thoughts. Lofty thoughts, if you once have that desire of lofty thoughts, or lofty thoughts are good desires that will come to reality if you could imagine, if you could think, amidst all impossibilities. Whether possible or not, if you start thinking about something which would happen in your life, would happen. That is what says in 596. 597. Firm standing after loss resembles attacked elephant. If you attack an elephant, elephant will be standing still. The same thing happens with those people, people who have lost everything. If they have lost also, if they lost everything, they will stand firm if they have the willpower. So willpower, zeal, is having that much of confidence, that much of courage, that much of encouragement, wherein it makes people stand even amidst all type of losses, like an elephant standing even after attack. Is comparing. 598. Wavering mind makes none acclaimed international arbitrator. Wavering mind makes none acclaimed international arbitrator. This also you could see in the circuit.com, where I have translated this way. உள்ளம் இல்லாதவர் எய்தார் உலகத்து வள்ளியம் என்னும் செருக்கு. I translated, wavering mind makes none acclaimed international arbitrator. This, why I have translated this? Which word is arbitrator here? Valliyam. Valliyam is a word. It refers to some ship and other certain things also. It refers to person who could judge. It refers to an arbitrator. Who is an arbitrator? Arbitrator is a private judge. It is referred to in the Bible also. Arbitrator is a private judge. 2000 years back, whatever could imagine about this one. In India, in India, 1940, the Act was enacted. After that, in 1996, we have the Arbitration Conciliation Act. 1996, we have. In the 1996 Arbitration Act, Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996, it has been amended in 2015, amended Act. In 2019 also it is again amended. So the Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996, arbitrator is one who is appointed by two parties. Those two parties agree that this person can be a judge. So he will be judging and he will be passing a judgment. This is called award. This award is equivalent to court's judgment. Court judge is one who will be your judge whether you want or not. But this arbitrator is a judge when you both want him to be your judge. In the civil cases, not in the criminal cases. In most of the civil cases, except in a few cases where we have some enacted acts like eviction, tenant landowner act. In the particular few certain aspects, you cannot appoint arbitrator. In the landowner and tenant act dispute also, you can appoint arbitrator for certain extent. That is called a latitude. Latitude is there. So arbitrator is a private judge. See, now here what he says is, this Valliyam is a Tamil word which is used by Valluvar for arbitrator. Arbitrator is for the international arbitrator. It is he will be an international arbitrator, because arbitrator can function anywhere in the world, because there is a world law. Based on that only, India has also enacted this act. In most of the countries, they use arbitration for building construction, for construction lines and business disputes getting dissolved. They use it for they say it's an alternative dispute resolution system. There is negotiation, then they call it conciliation, then mediation, then finally comes arbitration. Now he is talking about the arbitration here. Wavering mind, if you are afraid, if you are having the good willpower, if you have the vacillation, if you are not fixed to one mind, if you have the wavering mind, what will happen? You cannot become the international arbitrator, acclaimed international arbitrator. That is why he says Valliyam enum serukku. That Valliyam is arbitrator. Arbitrator is one who can judge people with the pride. Pride means it's a good sign. In good sense, it's used in THIRUKKURAL, in this particular Quran, and in Quran number 613. In these two places, whatever is using the word pride for a good Thiruvalur is using for good meaning, or in a good sense he is using. Seruk is pride. It's not arrogance in the wrong way. It's a positive sense. You will become a person who will be able, in a good sense, you will be judging people. You will be giving some judgment to the people in a right way for their happy living. It will be rather easier for you to give the judgment. Thereby they will be. That is why this business people having dispute, they come to the arbitrator, because it will get resolved soon. Alternative dispute resolution system. It will be resolved soon throughout the world. If you go to the court, it takes a lot of time, because they have a lot of cases, and it will take a lot of time. That is why it has come to this arbitration system, dispute resolution, alternative dispute resolution system. What I was saying, those people, if you want to become an arbitrator, acclaimed international arbitrator, you have to have the waiver. You have to have mind which should not waver. You should have a fixed mind. It should have a mind with zeal. You must have a mind with willpower. Then only you can become an arbitrator. You can become a Valliyam. Valliyam looks like an abstract word, but it's not an abstract word. It looks like that. It is Valliyar, like Valliyar, but Valliyam is also Valliyar. So it is a Tamil word for arbitrator. But here Ulagathu is international. Acclaimed. That means with Seruk. Seruk is acclaimed. Ulagathu international. Valliyam is arbitrator. Now, Ullam Iladavar, wavering mind. That means the person who doesn't have the willpower, either will not become Valliyam, arbitrator, with pride in the world. Wavering mind makes non-acclaimed international arbitrator. Next one. Even big elephants fear tigers' ferocious attack. 599. Big elephants also sometimes fear tigers' ferocious attack. If tiger is ferocious, angry, sometimes you would have seen the elephants retreat, seeing the anger of the tiger. So anger is referred to the willpower. It's a small animal comparing to the elephant, but being ferocious. Ferocious means, ferocious is nothing but with willpower, strong will, strongly having that will, strongly willed. That ferocious attack, elephants are afraid. That means he wants to say, our willpower make even the bigger people afraid. 600. Last one. Lacking willpower makes men only living trees. If you don't have the willpower, you will become like trees which are alive. You are alive, but like a tree, motionless. You cannot move. That is why lacking willpower makes men only living trees. So willpower is very important. If you lack willpower, you will be like a living tree, not like men, not like a human being. Where it stops. So zeal, the chapter zeal is explaining all these 10 Qurans in such a way that we should have some encouragement, and thereby we will be motivated to have the will to achieve everything, especially the wealth. That includes our health too. Thank you.